conversation with Collette, and I am Collette, and it is a pleasure as I do my courtesy. I take our time together, never forget. It's so great. Watching us via Comcast or our app or streaming live or Roku. So that's what technology allows you to do. No matter where you are, you can tune in and have this conversation, right? So, you know what Fridays are. Fridays are our time with Son of Man from 7 to 8. And normally, if we get really engaged, we can take it from 8 to 9, or then we turn into the 8 o'clock hour. It's kind of our freestyle Friday time where we kind of talk about anything, things that make you go, whatever that rant is that you wanted to discuss over the week, news items that are questionable to you. What did we talk about? And so I just want to say a great good morning as well to Mr. Harrison and his family. You know, again, it's about gratitude. I know that I am here. I sit in this seat because he created this conversation, this platform, and I was asked to come and sit in his stead. And so that is not an opportunity that I take for granted, and I'm so thankful for it. So a lot of times in our gratitude, in our moments of gratitude, we need to articulate that. Because one thing for you to know it, it's a different thing for you to be able to say it. Because I ask, when I'm talking to young people, I ask, as their day, I start off, what was the most exciting thing that you learned today? And then they'll proceed to tell me what it was that they learned in school or in life or whatever they learned. And then I said, and most importantly, what act of kindness did you show or display today? And then most of them take only a quick second. It's interesting because when you have young people, they take a quick second and then they tune right into what they did to help someone. That's more mature individuals, not so much. Not so much. Maybe it is that we become jaded. Maybe our eyes have become glazed over. Maybe we become so focused on what is happening, the immediacy of the things we have to do. We have to go to work. We have to take care of our households. We have to take care of our families. We have to take care of ourselves. That we become remiss in those important things. And so I'm going to piggyback today out of the conversations that we had yesterday. And our yesterday's conversation, the theme was America Gone Wild. And I just asked you, in the midst of everything that is going on, it's really hard to focus. And I wanted to know what it was that you were focusing on. Were you focusing on what was going on in Korea, North Korea, with Kim Jong-un, and what that looked like? What now he's been deemed by our president as Little Rocket Man. Was that of issue to you? I asked if that wasn't, then were you focused on the hurricane devastation that is still taking place right now? And even more so, the disproportionate aid that and attention that has been given to now Puerto Rico and Barbuda and areas, where people of color, I'm gonna, gonna be really exact, but the areas in which people of color live, and there still are, as one of the mayors in Juan said, they're dying now because we don't have the adequate water in, we still don't have the food in and the supplies and the housing. And you all know that our president said that he was going to go on Tuesday. So they've been just devastated for over a week now, but he's going to go on Tuesday and visit, and there's not an upper. I asked if he's focused on that. I asked if you were focusing on Flint and what that looked like, and a community that still isn't made whole. And then now there are the trials that have been going on, and so those directors were now being cross-examined. And when the judge asked, why didn't you just tell that there was a problem? And the man just shrugged his head, his shoulders, and he said, I don't know. He shrugged his shoulders, he can't show his head. He shrugged his shoulders and said, I don't know. And so I just said, wow, so you just didn't know to tell this group of people and to sound the alarm that it was a tragedy, there's legionnaires, and that people's lives can be lost because of it. You just didn't know. And so I said, okay, well, you weren't really focused on that. And then maybe you were just focused on the president about the NFL, and that the owners were scared of the players, and that now collectively you saw this display of everyone taking the knee, and all because there was this idea that if you were to either kneel or to stand, that it wasn't patriotic. patriotic. And so I asked them in the midst of all of that, because we were reciting the Star-Spangled Banner. And so I gave us the words to the third verse, because most of us don't know that there are 4 verses in the Star-Spangled Banner. And the third verse makes reference to slavery. If he wanted me to give it to you in a specific, I can, because I know that you didn't know. And I know that the majority of us who say things in America don't even know the origins, and we don't even think about what it is that we're saying. And I think that's so appropriate, of course, to the conversations with Son of Man, because he always speaks on that. He always speaks on the importance of words and understanding what we say and the deliberate time that we have to take in being clear about the meaning of what we say. And so those words, they stated that no refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave, and the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph of wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. So I let you know that slave right there, we weren't free. We were slaves. We weren't of importance, and a lot of people didn't understand what he was saying when he wrote this, but I gave you a video history that shows that at that time, Britain told his slaves that we don't believe in slavery. You can come and fight with us for your freedom, and of course you will be free. And there's thousands of blacks who then went to fight against America in their break away from Britain, because America was trying to take Canada from Britain. And there were thousands of blacks who went to fight. And so Scott was saying that, you know, hey, that's what you get, because you then went to the other side, and it didn't save you still from dying. But we didn't know that. I believe the majority of us now, when we have a conversation about the protest, if you will, or being democratic, because I thought that we were able to exercise our rights, but then that becomes the whole conversation of, if you are already looked at as a citizen, then you have rights. So how could then you be considering that this is of importance to other people that don't look like you? They don't know that there's more than one verse. They think it's just that first verse. So now you're not being patriotic. But I think I asked us to consider that this is the same patriotism that when we do go, those of us do go and give our lives for our country, and meaning that our lives in service, and that you are not killed. When you come home, we still have that we're suffering now. If it's okay, there's a whole bunch of excitement and hoopla about you going to fight to be supportive of the effort to, quote, keep America free, but when you come home, everybody forgets about you. So we have tons of vets that are dealing with PTSD and just traumas from the war and that experience that we don't take care of. So maybe you're focused on that. Or maybe some of you would just focus on the fact that Hugh Hefner passed away. And so Hugh Hefner of Natural Causes, I believe at 91, passed away. And so he's the one that created the sexy. So a lot of you, I believe that it was a affront to women and making women sex symbols. And that was how women should be perceived in America. And he was upset. And no one had a problem with that. Remember, they had the Hugh Hefner Playhouse clubs across the country, and you would see people come in and dine, and men and women were dressed up, and you'd walk around in this coat, smoke jacket, and the women were walking around in a little bunny, and they had entertainment. Y'all remember that? And then no one had a problem with it. It was just a great thing. It was just as American as apple pie. And so maybe you were just thinking all that. So I asked the midst of all of that, have we just gone wild? I asked if you all remember that video, Girls Gone Wild. Remember when I was in high school, they showed a little clips, and the women would raise up their shirts and show all kinds of crazy antics, and then you could buy the video for $19.99. And everyone would be excited because you want to see these people go wild. Well, you're seeing them go wild right now. And so much so that it's having an immediate impact on how we live our lives, and we're just missing it. Or, let me ask this in, maybe you all are concerned about the fact that the mayor of Detroit, Mayor Duggan, has stated an insurance policy, and he's going up to Lansing to lobby for this insurance policy. And you know that in some of the media, they have articulated that the Republicans are asking them to help them in creating a common conversation to get some momentum on this bill. Don't you think it's interesting that a mayor is taking these steps versus individuals who were elected and selected by the people who are to create legislation for the state, for the people of this state? So now everyone's putting the ownership on this mayor to do that? That's a state function. I'm trying to understand. So first thing we have a problem with the growth of the city. We say it's not all inclusive, but then you say it's all his responsibility to lower your auto insurance, and the people that are sitting there getting the check and have been getting checks for their terms, it hasn't happened. So I don't know, like, do we just really know what's going on? Do we know what we want? Do we understand again who America is, what expectation is? But then you guys are funny because I got phone calls. You are really great. You call me when I get off the air, you send text messages and you send I am and you tell me how you feel. And I know that a lot of you took exception to what I said yesterday about it wasn't there. He didn't include certain people in the conversation. And the truth about it is, it's no different than us kneeling and asking them to honor us, asking them to make us whole, asking them to say yes to the atrocities to people of color, and yes, we're sorry. And then what? We're so busy asking other people to save and reference us that that's our focus. But people of color, can kill each other every day, not an issue. People don't even act like they're terrified or shocked when they hear it anymore. Folks can kill babies as innocent bystanders. People aren't saying anything. And that's literal death. We have figurative death all along. Poor education system. Last caller from yesterday made a great point that, you know what, we're just not needed anymore. So maybe we don't know what to do when we're not needed. They don't need us to pick their cotton. They don't need us to run their automobile factories. They don't need us to take care of their children. They don't need us to clean their homes and clean their businesses. They, meaning Power America, doesn't need us, so we don't know what to do with ourselves because they don't need us. But I tell you what, they might not need you in all those sectors, but they will lock you up so quickly because they need you in the prison system, because that's the business of prison, to do the work in the prisons and pay you $2 a day. How's that? And then it employs those small communities where everyone works in the prison, and that creates a livelihood of that community. They need you to keep committing the crimes and keep not working together and keep focusing on ego and keep not wanting to remove yourselves from the ego and the title to get to us working together. So with that conversation, then I'm going to welcome the Son of Man from the New Nation of Islam into the dialogue, because you know it's important for me to set the tone. And so I know that a lot of us, with our conversation with the Son of Man, you know, we want to sit and still keep arguing with him about who he says he is, and we still can't get and who he says he is, who we believe he's not. And at the end of the day, that is still not accepted in the Bible. We still aren't arguing with the Bible or the Quran. We're still having personal conversations and we're arguing with the person of who they say that they believe that they are. At the end of the day, if you move that out of the way, then how do we move forward? So maybe we're just using all of this as an excuse because we really don't want to move forward, because we don't know what to do if we don't have chaos, if we don't have confusion, if we don't have oppression. We don't know what to do with our stuff. So it's with that this morning that I greet you, Brother Man. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam. I want to say to those in the listening audience who have the hunger and thirst for truth and righteousness, may Allah's salam alaikum. You know, you brought up so many things. You know, I'm aware that in the Revolutionary War, that I think his name was Crispus Attucks, was one of they said a black man was the first one that got killed during that war. But it's as I'm just going to touch on this a minute. If you recall, There wouldn't be a United States right now if the Confederacy, and they were called Confederates because, like the United Nations is a form of a confederacy, that they are nations, independent nations that have agreed to be partners with each other in certain areas. That an attack on one is an attack on the other one, but each one is sovereign unto themselves. So you had the Confederate, those who were bent on keeping their slaves and continuing to practice that way of life. And you had the Union Army, which was under the president. The whole country was actually under the president, but those Confederate states decided they were going to secede from the Union and break up the Union. And because they wanted, the slavery in the North and the South was about to part company. So the president said he wasn't going to let them secede. And so the Star Spangled Banner, that was not written during the Civil War. I mean, during the Revolutionary War, to my understanding, it wasn't. It was written during the Civil War. Now, if someone has more information on that, you can enlighten me. I'll be more than happy to receive that. But I was under the understanding that that Star Spangled Banner and whatnot, that was written during the time of the Civil War, and it was the Union that it was singing about. And even that verse that was quoted, at least that portion of the verse that was quoted about the slave, where it says, "No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave." And notice the words, no refuge could save. Well, during the time of slavery, no matter where the slave ran, there was no refuge for him. A runaway slave was always taken back. But after when they started the Underground Railroad, the slave, he could run up north, and they gave him a little respite, a little refuge. And during the Civil War, slaves was enlisted into the Union Army to help fight for their freedom, or their so-called freedom, and also to preserve the Union. And so the song says, no refuge could. It didn't say no refuge can. No refuge could save. That's a past, that they're using it in the past tense. No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave. And the Star Spangled Banner in triumph. In triumph of what? In triumph over those who wanted to perpetuate slavery. You notice the Confederacy, the Confederate flag would have been flying over America if the Confederate States had succeeded in what they wanted to do. There wouldn't be no stars and stripes flying over America. It would be the flag of the Confederacy. So people get all that stuff mixed up. But it's not like I don't believe in. As I said, I'm not going. Just because you're my enemy, I'm not going to lie on you. I'm going to speak what I believe or know to be true. Things I'm saying right now is the things that I have been taught about the history of the flag of this country and whatnot. The ending of slavery, this flag was flying over it. the Stars and Stripes, the ending of the condoning of it. Now, so, you know, at one time, no terror could, you know, no, the slave couldn't run nowhere. Wherever he ran, he was doomed. But they, you know, some of them, regardless to what their reasons were, the major reason was because it was breaking up the Union. Slavery was breaking up the Union. It was destroying this country. As wrongdoing and mistreatment of people will always destroy the ones who are doing it and profiteering off of it. That's what's happening to the black community now. You notice, you look at all of the ones that we look up to in the black community are people who pretend that they want to see black people do better and want to see black people rise and want to see all of our leaders. They'll get up and tell us they love us and they want, but they never get out of our presence without picking our pocket. And then when they pick our pocket, when you look to see what it is that they are doing with what they got from our pocket, it was always only something for themselves to live better off of, while our condition is not getting better. It's only getting worse. The only place you actually see black people's condition getting better from the leadership that claimed to love them, it was with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and with me. And you can get mad. They get mad. But you can go online and see what we doing. It's not hidden. You can come and visit me anytime. It's not hidden. And if you really want to come that bad, I would even help you with half the price of the ticket and let you come here and see what we are about. You know, that's why I get out in the public and let everybody who think they have a gripe against me, I let them say it. But you know, this is just like what the coach Popovich. Coach Popovich, you could tell that man was really stressed when he was talking about white people not having not having a clue. Yes, they do have a clue. They know exactly what's going on. When they say there ain't no race problem in America, they cannot acknowledge that they are born with white privilege. But he told them, he says, look, we like in 100-yard dash, and we start off at the 50-yard line. I mean, at the 50-yard line. Well, and he didn't say black people, but that's what he was saying. But black people have to start back at the beginning. And you, because you're white, you already got halfway there. And every white person that heard that you notice, they ain't saying too much about that. The reason they ain't saying nothing about it is because they know it's true. But they'll get out in the public and pretend that they don't know. They'll pretend that there's no, the reason black people don't have nothing is because they're lazy. The reason black people don't have nothing is because they're shiftless. The reason black people, they killing each other. Yeah, white folks killing each other. But I don't hear nobody, you got more serial killers than we do. But that's not the issue. That's just something to cloud the issue. The main reason that you have black on black crime is because white people from slavery up to now, it's just like in that movie, that satire, that's what I would call it, but it was based on history. The Django, when they went there, the slave master got two slaves fighting each other and told the other one, kill that, okay, kill him, boy. And he hit him in the head with the hammer, killed him. And then he said, now you go on up there and have a good time and whatnot. And they've pitted us against each other ever since they laid eyes on us. And you and I thought that it was just for their enjoyment. But it was not just for their enjoyment. It was to keep us from being able to unite. A house divided against itself cannot stand. It's just like many of you say, well, you carrying it on because you attacking other black leaders. I haven't attacked black leaders. I have attacked those who lie in the name of leadership. That's what I have done. I have attacked false leadership.
To say that again. If you want to take away anything from our conversation, I need you to give what the Son of Man just said. I really need you all to get that. And he does not attack black leaders. Repeat what you just said.
Have you ever heard me attack the Honorable Elijah Muhammad? Have you ever heard me attack Marcus Garvey other than or Noble Drew Ali? No. Yeah, I am not attacking leadership. I'm attacking the false leadership. I'm attacking people who claim to be leaders, but in actuality, they are robbers. And if you don't believe you've been robbed, look at all the money that you done donated to churches. I mean, collectively, look at all the money that we have given the church and the mosque and the temples and all of these things, and look at our condition. What do we have to show for it? So, you know, I'm tired. I'm tired of it. And the Holy Bible tells me, it says, Son of Man, prophesy against the shepherds. You know what that means? It means speak out against those who claim to be leading you. And if I'm so wrong, why you keep on jumping up in my face instead of telling them, come in there and tell Minister Farrakhan, come in there and tell that man that he ain't right about you. Tell him that he's wrong. You come and defend yourself against what he's saying. You go and tell all of these people that you done heard me say something about. Why don't they come and talk to me like a man instead of like a scorpion sending his tail to try to sting me? You notice the head of a scorpion don't get you. Its tail. You know, they used to say in the movies, put a tail on him. That means follow him. So it's not the heads. They ain't say nothing to me. But they're followers. Here, I'm the head of the new nation of Islam. I speak for us. And yet, you come over here, and if I got on your leader, you know what he would say? I didn't tell him to come over there and say nothing to you, mister. How many of them have ever came in here to me and told me that their leader sent them over here to talk to me? No, they just angry. And I tell you why most of you don't want me. It's because you really don't want righteousness. You just want what white people have. That's why when earlier, when Sister Collette, when she said that we don't get upset when black people kill black people. The only one got upset about that and still get upset about it is the Muslim. We the ones warn you that one day we gonna put a stop to you killing our people. You run around here, you got your guns, and you gonna take up where the devil left off. The white man don't have to come kill us. You riding through the street doing the what used to happen in the 20s with white people, Babyface Nelson and John Dillinger, and all of them riding around with machine guns and stuff, and shooting up the community and shooting up their people for the sake of profit. No, man.
Because I got a caller, and I want to put this out. If for those of us in this region, you're familiar with Hamtramck. And so Hamtramck, I believe is one of the most diverse cities in this state. And you know, the majority of the residents in Hamtramck are Muslim. And the crime statistics in Hamtramck are minimal. And when you walk through Hamtramck at any time of the day, you see such a variety of people, but everybody is getting along. And I thought about it the other day because I was in Hamtramck, and I said, man, what makes this city so unique? How can you have over, they said 500 languages are spoken in the high school? That gives you the idea of the types of variants of people that they have in the high school. And you can walk down the street. I mean, Hamtramck historically was known for the Polish. Remember when the Pope would come? He would visit Hamtramck. And so now you have a majorative Bangladesh community, and majorative is Muslim. And you want the peace that flows through that community. Bosnians, Muslims, I mean, so does that make something more relevant to you all? That if it is truly about love and who you say you are, then there's going to be harmony in the midst of all our quote-unquote diversity. We will all still get along. We will all still grow. We will all be successful in each one of our areas. You'll look and you might see a Bosnian restaurant, and then you'll see a Lebanese restaurant, and then you'll see whatever the case may be, and everybody just gets along. And I thought about that in our conversations here, that why can't we be supportive of the conversation, again, if it's about growth? Because no one is causing you to choose. Our conversations this morning, and that's the direct choice, is to think through what makes sense and what you want in your life. So if you want harmony and if you want growth, you can question what you're getting out of the people that you follow. Just like Son of Man said, not the attack on the leader, but the type of leadership. Because it is the difference in life and death. And so maybe, again, that's not what we want, because we want to be confrontational, and maybe that's the state that we stay in, because he said we have churches on every corner. You all know mega churches. We never hold the church accountable for what we're supposed to have, but we're always so excited about what the bishop has. As long as he's living good, driving good, smelling good, eating good. We don't have any problems with what we're not getting, because maybe that's the psychology of who we supposed to believe that our leaders are supposed to be, versus giving back to you, sowing into you. I said to you before that maybe that's the problem why you don't like Son of Man, is because he's too approachable. Do you like the people that make you go through 5 steps to get to them, and then and that's just like by paper, call, conversation, that thing, to even get a conversation. And then you want them to have 5 or 6 armor bearers, and then you want them to have a group of people still around them, but you can't even go to touch him when you see him in person. Maybe we like that. We put a value on that because that means you're special, and that means that you're important. But then, you can just be as empty as anything because it doesn't make our communities better. Think about that. If you all don't understand what that looks like from his conversation, we have a whole community, a Muslim community that is thriving off of the belief in Allah and how we're supposed to treat each other and be in cohesion and grow, but we don't do it. Let's go to the line for the minute.
Wait. Just before you do, I would like to remind all of them that have came to my meetings up there. They have seen people stand up in my meeting and argue with me at Savior's Day or at any other meeting. And didn't nobody come and usher you out. Didn't nobody, my followers wasn't looking, scowling at you. You felt so safe in my meeting that you could stand up and sometimes be downright insulting, but you knew that you were safe in there. Now go do that to some of these other people and see how safe you feel. Now you can go to the phone. I had to get that said. I just wanted to get that said.
Oh, no, absolutely. And caller, I see I'm about to go to you, but to Son of Man's point, I just want to add, I was at sitting pretty much towards the front of the auditorium. And there was a lady that was in front of me, and you could tell she was very tired. She probably was suffering from maybe a sleep apnea or something like that. And literally, she fell asleep in the meeting. She fell asleep, and she began to snore. And there were some people that were sitting around us who were so offended by it, they kept trying to push her, they kept trying to wake her up to remove herself from it, and even went and told the ushers, for lack of the term ushers, and they came down, and some man stopped his conversation in the midst of everybody and asked what the problem was. And they explained it, and he said, "It's okay, let her be. It's okay. You all know, I grew up in a Baptist church. That isn't happening. You can't come in the Baptist church, the church I grew up in, and look any kind of way. They're not having it. You can't come off of the street to try to get a meal or try to get some support. If you, heaven forbid, if you have not bathed and you have an odor, you're not coming upstairs. If they let you in, they're going to send you downstairs. Everyone's going to act like you're not approachable." And we're in church now. I'm just saying, call it for what it is. And even when we're in a space where it's the new come as you are, so I'm going to meet you right where you are right now. Even if it's the come as you are, we got a problem if folks do come as they are, and we'll look from head to toe and complain about what they got on, what they going to the club, what they coming into church. We're expecting them to act. He who is without sin judge. And in the midst of all of that, how are we getting better? I'm telling you, those are the things you have to think about. So you're so quick to talk about we got to be flashy, dressy, shiny, all this kind of stuff, while we giving and giving and giving, and nothing. So the belief is that your physical give is going to enrich your spiritual self. Do you believe that? Caller, thanks for your patience. Great morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, okay, I can get the quick in if I wasn't sure. So I'm kind of going to be all over the place. So be patient with me and let me try that. Yes, he who controls syndicated media mouthpiece controls the weak-minded peoples to follow believing things. And I believe in it as a man thinks, and so is he, and so shall he be. The true colors of many Americans are coming out. They care nothing about injustice or black lives. Blacks have constantly being locked, boxed, excluded, deluded, and blamed for the conditions their conditions are in. The oppressor continue to make blacks their commodity to keep building wealth for their families, empires, and health. Empires are still gaining great power, helpful wealth on blood, sweat, and tears of generations of black bodies, brainwashed heads. It's just sickening to me that we got so many trained, father-head, trick-based Negroes, preachers, and leaders supporting white supremacy plans for many. We need to understand that they continue to shine black crimes, and they continue to help black crime shine and support white crime going blind. So I am so thankful, grateful that you have this other man on, because he's always coming clear, straight, no chaser to the point. That we keep following those who are helping to destroy us as a people. And we don't get it because we're so blinded and weak-minded that we don't research and study on what we need to do to regroup and build ourselves. We need to deprogram ourselves from a system that cares nothing about us, that continually to keep us their commodity to build wealth for their families. What part don't we get? It's like you say, you keep doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome. Well, and you keep getting the same bash. You keep getting exposed to deluded and polluted. So it's time for a wake-up call. And, every time I'm just so thankful example that you have from the man here, because he breaks it down very, very clearly, and he confirms a lot of facts. And I thank you for that. Love you all.
No, we thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Folks called me, one young lady sent me an item, and she said, I believe that you are brainwashed by the Son of Man. And I said, well, I appreciate if you believe that. It's not true. Why can't I just agree with someone? And on this show, and I verbalize that I agree with them. So if I am in agreement with them and you believe that it's brainwashed, okay, then you need to tell me what it is that I'm in agreement with that is brainwashed. I don't question that the Son of Man is the Son of Man. That's not for me to question. Who am I to tell the Son of Man that he's not the Son of Man? I just need to understand that. And then whenever I have a question, I'll present it in the subject matter, I'll ask, he will give a point of reference. You can't tell me that in our time with the Son of Man on this show that you don't learn. And whether the point of reference is from the Bible or the Quran, that you get some information. You can't tell me. Majority of the time, when the Son of Man goes to speak, he'll bring a quote from the Bible or the Quran. Period. That it's a point of reference. We're not getting that, people. And I know that you don't like it, and I know that it's uncomfortable for you. But you have to be fair if you're trying to grow and call it for what it is. If you've been following, what do they call it? False prophecy. If that's who you've been following, just know that's who you've been following. That's the type of leadership that you've been following. And you need to be okay with that, because you'll be accountable for that. That's all we're saying. But at this point, that's what I'm saying. But at this point, it's about you knowing your truth and walking in your truth. You can't say that you don't know. There are too many options presented for you with factual backup that says, guess what? I was following him because I didn't know. That's not true. You knew. You liked what he said. It made you feel comfortable. It was emotional for you. And so that's what you went with. You didn't go to the strength in the internet. You weren't dealing with your spirit. That's not what this is. And I know that the Son of Man doesn't need me to sit and validate conversation, but I have to do it because you all won't call in to tell him that. You call in to tell me. You instant message me. You text me. And so you already know that I'm going to share the conversation. That's truth and love. That's transparency. Because I want us to get better. And in the midst, when you're out here fighting for truth, trying to awaken the people, it's not easy. I can't imagine what the Son of Man goes through every day. I'm going to take him up on his invitation. That would be great. We should do like a segment where you can go down and sit with him in Mississippi and walk the land and look at the project. Because maybe that'll convince you that you need to be a part of something that is revolutionary. And not revolutionary because you're fighting for your civil rights, but revolutionary because it's an innovative idea that takes you into a level of empowerment so that you can be better. So, man, now I'm going to stay in the line. Let's go to the phone, and then I'm going to give you the conversation. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thanks for your patience. Good morning to you. Are you there?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
You touched on so many bases. I guess I'm tired of us trying to get in. When we get tired of trying to get in, we won't have too much to complain about. If there's no table for you, make your own table.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So stay right there. And why do you think that we don't see that opportunity?
I want to say fear of success, something you said. We're so used to being down. If we get up, we won't know how to, we're afraid of how to command ourselves.
Right. Wow. And do you think, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot, how do you think religion plays a part of that?
Oh, it's huge. A lot of us, like you said, came from Baptist churches, and we were indoctrinated in another form early from home. So if you're not spiritually connected, we want to be religious. So when you don't know who you are, you're just traveling around and around and around. They try different religions. coming back to what's familiar, and we have to get away from what's familiar. That's what it is right there. We like what's easy, we do what's easy. If it gets hard, we throw the towel in, and we used to not be that way. But I'm blessed that I came from a family that's still like that and not like that.
Yeah, you are absolutely blessed. I am thankful that that is your level of consciousness and that you are kind enough to share that with us. Because maybe a lot of times we need to see other people being the example that we wish to be so that we don't believe that we're alone with it. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, have a wonderful day.
Okay, you too. So, Brother Man, where are we at for? Please, I'm going to give you this time to give the word of what's next and then what can we expect from you this evening.
Well, we're going to go deeper into what has been plaguing us. Trying to get our people to move as a unit is one of the hardest jobs that anyone has ever had. The messenger said that Allah told him that, and he told him that to tell me. He said, brother, you have the hardest job of any man that ever lived. It's not a hard job to teach an ignorant man. What's really hard is to teach a man who has been taught ignorance, thinking that he has been given truth, when he has been deceived into thinking that something that is actually nothing, he thinks it's something. It's like the religion of Christianity. You know, our people, they think that they've been under the false impression that the Bible is a Christian book. When if they really had read the Bible, they'd know that the Bible is not, it does not even say the word Christianity in there. Christianity came from white people. It is their interpretation of the Bible, and they made up that religion, and through their interpreting the Bible, what it says, and it's just like Jesus dying on the cross for your sin. That's a lie. Jesus did not, according to them, they telling you it's a lie. Because if a person just died, like they just said, Hugh Hefner died, and that means that nobody outside, he didn't have no outside help, he just died. But if you put me or any other man on a cross and nail me there and let me sit there and sit up there and that die of exposure or whatnot, and then you come out, I died. No, you killed me. But if they tell you that we killed Jesus for our salvation, that don't sound right. So they say he died for us. Lying. But anyway, but they know they haven't taught us anything, just like they told us we was free. They said, we gonna free you. And if you understood what freedom means, you would know that white people can't free you and me. Freedom is something that you was born with. And your fear made you afraid to exercise that freedom. Your fear chokes you up, that when you know that even right now, every one of you that's listening to me know that I'm telling you the truth. You know that I'm speaking right. But most of you, if you won't admit it, but the truth is, not only are you afraid of white people and what they will do, you keep on thinking about Tulsa and thinking about Black Wall Street. You're thinking about all these things that they done did to you. And you say, well, I ain't gonna get nowhere where they numbered us, because they'll come there and blow us up again or whatnot. Well, if he that tough, why am I able to do what I'm doing and say what I'm saying here in Mississippi? If he that tough, how come I ain't dead? I've been here since 1981 teaching just what I'm doing. Matter of fact, I done kind of toned it down because I done grew. I done grew in it. But when I first got here, white folks, I was on their radio telling them you ain't nothing but the devil, and I don't wish nothing but hell for you. And I was riding up and down the street, you know, and at night, at day, by myself. At least apparently by myself. But I ain't never by myself. It's written, if I make my bed in hell, thou art there with me. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I don't fear no evil, for thou art with me. I trust Allah's word. I trust that he said no weapon formed against me would prosper. I trust that. That's called faith. And I love my people. And I just I can't feel like a man knowing what I know if I wasn't standing up speaking what I'm speaking, and if I wasn't out doing what I'm doing. I just could not, I can't sit up here and tell, like some of y'all coming in here telling telling the brothers and sisters how much you love them. And then when somebody asks you, well, what are you doing? What are you doing for your people? Nothing. Just talking. And nobody, all through school, I had to come up to the understanding on my own that love is a verb. I had to discover that. Nobody, all through school, the word love was never defined what part of speech it is. Because if it had been, that was done to us on purpose. If some of y'all was taught love is a verb while you was in school, I'd like to know what school you went to. If you found that out, you had to find that out on your own. The white man sure didn't teach it to you. Otherwise, you would know that all the people who've been telling you that they love you, they really don't. Because if they loved you, their deeds would be in your best interests. I mean, if I'm taking money from you and spending it on me, that ain't love. But if I'm taking money from you and spending it back on you, and then also spending my money on you, adding mine to it, now that's a sign that love is present. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I believe everyone now, that's a great way to wrap up our sermon today with Son of Man. It's about love. And you need to love, and you need this conversation, and call in tonight. We're going to put the information up on the screen. Please continue to learn and continue to grow and continue to even question the things that you do, the actions that you take, because we say that we love each other. We love ourselves. We love each other. We love what we believe. Call in tonight and put the information up on the screen. You continue to hear the Son of Man tonight at 9 p.m. on WHCR and TV 33. You are free to by phone. You can listen 712-770-4160. You see the access code there. Please each 695-781, of course. Your drive got a little bit of mine, and you can see that. And I encourage everyone to call in tonight because we need to talk more about love. So again, it's always a pleasure.
Same here, Sister Collette.